One of the ways that you can break up the styling of the homepage to make it a little bit more engaging and visually distinctive for the readers is to change the vertical layout into a horizontal layout. So that's what we'll cover right here. The first step that you're going to do is go to edit the page, and once you're on here you'll find the section that you want to break up. So in this case it's the one pot recipes, and what we're going to do is we'll select the FSRI block and change the mobile grid. So the options that you have here are grid full horizontal, and that's the only option for this because if it's too posts wide on mobile, it's just not going to be very visually appealing. So you won't see that because this is a desktop layout right now, but we're going to set the desktop grid. We have a third, I'll show you that. So that puts it in columns of 3. We have a half and we have a full. So the full you're generally not going to use on desktop. There just ends up being too much white space on here. Even the half will end up having too much white space. It's not terrible here, but on the front end it looks a little bit funny. So typically you're going to use a third horizontal if you're doing it as a full screen, full width. So we're going to go ahead and refresh to see how that looks, right? And so there's still a little bit of additional spacing on here, and you can see that we're missing 2 posts right here. So we'll go back into here and we'll change this to display 6 posts. There we go. Go ahead and save that. So now it's displaying in thirds. And there's still, to me, a little bit of excess white space here. So you don't necessarily have to use a vertical image. What we're going to do is go to the image size, and because we have the 1x1 registered, we'll go ahead and select that, and that will put square images on here. And what it's going to do is shrink the height of it so there's just a little bit less white space. So now you can see it's a little bit better organized, it's a little bit more visually distinctive. And we can go ahead and further stylize this by adding a group block around it, adding a background color, just to make it more stand out. You'll see that the longer titles will extend here, and if it goes too long, it will actually extend past the image. So that's typically, you don't want a post title that's too long and too short. It can be 1 line, 2 to 3 lines is a good even for this. But there's a couple options for you to play with on here. So go ahead and play with the image size, the which one you want laid out, and just to see on mobile to make sure that it looks good. We'll come down here and yep. So the grid full on mobile, you see that it breaks down into 2 or 3 lines. It's close enough to what the desktop style is. If you had 2 of these side by side, so post title, so image title, the title just wouldn't be legible. So it really requires a full width display on mobile, which is why we only have that one option.